All too often, we, each one of us, have a sense of something, an awareness that may be in our stomach, our heart, our throat, our head. We had a sense that we ignored and later regretted. Thank you for joining me for a few moments of your time. Let me ask you, do you know your strengths? Do you know what stops you from using your strengths? Do you know how to influence others to assist them in getting what is wanted, needed, or missing? I'm Dorothy Siminovich, and author of the Gestalt Coaching Primer, The Path Towards Awareness IQ, which I wrote to help answer these very questions I just asked you. Indigenous wisdom of the First Nations of America and Canada says that each person carries their own original medicine which is needed by others. And our job is to discover our medicine, which is our presence and our possible ways of delivering our gifts to others. Why presence? The top-selling concept in coaching and leadership theory. Because it is so connected to personal identity, self-trust, and the capacity to influence others. And still, it has taken years to clearly articulate this concept because each of us, through awareness, must respond to our own challenge of self-development, which gets tested through the impact we make upon others. That is why it's so relevant to understand that the way we understand ourselves is through the impact we make upon others. After getting all the degrees that were possible to me, I began to seriously look at the phenomena of being able to use one's awareness in the moment that allows for better choices. As important as any knowledge, just think of times when you offered something valuable that others could not respond to. It might have been the right offer, but the wrong time. Greater awareness would allow better use of self. In these complicated times, when technological change is complicated with unexpected human-made challenges, we need to know how to use our awareness as a resource more than anything else. That is why there is such interest in what is now known as mindful practices. Knowledge and its demands of education and training are critical for excellence and accountability. But awareness is key to the process of delivery and the process of success. So what is Gestalt coaching? It is not therapy, though therapy can be very useful for those who need it. It is not organizational consulting, though many consultants are skilled in coaching. It is not teaching, though teaching is part of learning. Gestalt coaching is about 1. Using awareness-based practices to understand self and others. So often people are looking for the answer to a challenge or a problem outside themselves, when if they listen to themselves, they already had some understanding to the answer of their challenge and therefore the choices available to them. 2. The experience the mystery of one's presence with greater understanding and accountability. Each one of us is a work of art. But how often are we aware of whether we are embodying our values, our energies, and strengths? Are we aware of what we evoke in others, which we rarely get to understand, though we need to know? 3. How with intentionality and responsibility are we able to intervene to influence others? How effective are we in offering our observation, which is different than opinion, which is different than feedback or inquiry? Masterful use of self benefits from understanding those distinctions. How do we provoke what is needed, wanted, or missing? 4. The ability to perceive boundaries between self and others and how to use those boundaries to influence at the individual level or larger levels of system. It may sound simple, but leaders need to be master in influencing groups of people, and therefore coaches need to understand the processes involved in how to intervene across the levels of system. All of us live in human systems, but few of us are taught how to intervene at the group level or beyond the individual level. The relationship between I you and we is a road we need to walk on with more confidence. And 5, when you think about your presence, how different are you from others? Your job is to be aware of your gifts while also managing the differences between yourself and others. One of my colleagues calls this the Personal Weirdness Index, or PWI. If you are clearly aware of what you offer others, you might also become more aware of the range of differentness you are expressing. Your job is to keep your gifts strong while difference are being managed. If your differences are stronger than your gifts, the PWI becomes too large and your effectiveness declines. Again, more of these challenges are within your ability to influence than you may be aware of. The American poet Walt Whitman says, "We convince by our presence." So what is the message you are always sending others, and are you aware of it? As we close, what are you more aware of that you want to strengthen in your masterful use of self? Will you allow yourself?